evening, Simon here, Explosive Action, back with my first update of 2020. Here we are into the new decade, and isn't it marvellous? Not really, half my country is on fire, but hey, what can you do? Yep, it's pretty smoky around here. I'm pretty safe, thankfully, but I'm relatively close to some of the fires, and it's somewhat annoying, a little distressing, and every other day there's a big smoke wind that'll come in, and unfortunately the way that my man cave, my movie room, is set up is actually in my transformed garage, which is not particularly airtight, and I have had to clean ash off my Blu-rays and such, which has not been fun, but hey, it does wipe off. So yeah, fun times around here. But anyway, let's get on with the update. And the first thing we're checking out is the only DVD on this update, and that is Flying Dagger. I know very little about this, except for it was rapidly, enthusiastically recommended to me by Extra the Mutilator when he said it was available online, and I did pick it up quite cheap on eBay. There's only 2 copies, I think. I got the last one, and it's not a particularly easy one to obtain from what I can gather. So, yep, martial arts with lots of flying around and mystical kicking and all that wonderful stuff. So I recognise Gloria Yip as a name that I have seen in other films, and Jackie Cheung and Maggie Cheung. There you go. But yeah, really not too sure what to expect aside from the obvious that you get from Hong Kong action films of this time. So there you go, Flying Dagger. Looking forward to that one. And this other thing here, which I'm going to show, bit of a novelty, can't play it. This is a Super 8 of Fists of the Double K. A good friend of mine was at a market and found it for $5 whole and just thought of me, and I said, please pick it up. So this is, this is an 8mm black and white print, from what I can understand, and it's an excerpt of the movie. So I think these things run for about 8 or so minutes. Might have sound. I think it said it had sound. Yes, black and white and sound. Not all of them have sound. But this was one of the only ways to watch movies or parts of a movie in your home before we had videotapes. So this is quite old. This would be 70s, definitely. So yeah, I just thought it was kind of neat, the design of the box, and even how beaten up it looks. It just makes the look of that a bit more fun. So that's going to sit on my shelf proudly, the 8mm excerpts of Fists of the Double K. On to the first Blu-ray pile. We're going to start with some Hollywood, and that is the latest Rambo Last Blood, Sylvester Stallone. I saw this in the cinema, and in fact I did review this, explosiveaction.com. That is a plug. Go and check out my review from November last year. I quite enjoyed the film. It is not anything like the previous Rambo films. It could have been any action film, really. It feels very direct-to-video in the way that so the Expendables films do. At least those films do to me, but that's not a bad thing whatsoever. That's a positive thing as far as I'm concerned. I take that to mean it's one of those types of films where they just go all out and pretend that butts in seats at the cinema isn't the be-all and end-all. They're just making a good, fun action film, and it'll catch up on home media at some point, and they'll break even. That's how I see a lot of these films. And yeah, Rambo Last Blood, quite different. He's not in the jungle. He is in the border of Mexico, and then goes on to Mexico to rescue his sort of quasi-daughter, and drug cartels and human trafficking and massive beatdowns. And then he has a big old bunch of traps set in his house, just like Home Alone, but R-rated with high impact violence. It's good fun. Just don't expect Jungle Rambo. And the other Hollywood thing, I've not seen this, but it was cheap enough, so I'll finally check it out. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the latest Tarantino. I quite like most of his films. I know many don't, many do. I find them enjoyable, even if they are, largely heavily inspired by films from the past. That doesn't really faze me. I think he does a good job with the type of films that he makes. So yeah, and I've heard that this is quite a good one. So yep, I will check out Once Upon a Time in Hollywood sometime soon. I think it's quite long, so I have to find the right night. Beyond the Law. Oh dear, oh dear. The latest Steven Seagal film with DMX. Now, these two teamed up, I think, in the 90s in. Damn it, the name of it's escaped me. But the last cinema release film from Seagal, if you exclude the second Machete film, if you exclude that, then yeah, that the film that I'm trying to remember the name, I can't remember. Seagal and DMX was his last cinema film. This is his latest direct-to-video film, and it's mainly, from what I understand, starring Johnny Mesner, who's okay. He's been in some other action films. And I have read that Steven Seagal, yes, that's right, spends the film sitting in a chair. So I'm going to look forward to that in some kind of sadomasochistic way. I don't know why I keep watching them. I've got some kind of addiction to these films. It's my problem. I have to deal with it. But anyway, Beyond the Law, I'm sure I'll enjoy it somehow. Now, the next pile I got from Second Spin. Now, some people may not be aware of Second Spin. It's an American used DVD, Blu-ray, record, CD retailer, online retailer. And they have very good prices a lot of the time. And everything's used, but it's all in good condition. It's not scratched or beaten up. And every now and then they have, well, actually quite frequently, they have coupons for 10% off, that kind of thing. But every now and then, a few times a year, they'll have 20% off and free international shipping, which makes some of this stuff dirt cheap. And I picked up the brand new release of, it was literally out about 2 weeks, and then somebody didn't like it and traded it in, which probably says a lot. The new Dolph Lundgren film, The Tracker, Revenge Never Stops. Yep, haven't watched it yet, but it's Dolph Lundgren, so I must own it. And yeah, you often, pretty much every time that I knew a film had a slip cover, then Second Spin has had that slip cover when I bought it. So there you go, that's The Tracker. And one of the latest, it's a little old now, but I think it's still his last film, Jean-Claude Van Damme's We Die Young, which has got a pretty cool embossed slip, actually. From what I understand, it's a bit of a turn for him. It's not quite pure action. It's a sort of a drama kind of action film. So we'll see how we go with this one. But I'm talking like, I think $10 each for this kind of stuff and the free shipping. So really, really good. And then I filled up the basket with some cheapies. Final Days of Planet Earth with Daryl Hannah. This looks like some Sci-Fi Channel stuff, but apparently it's not Sci-Fi Channel. But still, that's why I got it. It's going to be something like it. 2005 film. Riveting end-of-days action thriller about blah, 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 archaeologist, blah, alien conspiracy, blah, against all odds battle to save the human race. Yep. Hopefully it looks as good as the cover, but we all know it won't. This one was like 80 cents or something. Seven Below. With, I like the cast. I mean, Ving Rhames, Luke Goss, they're in good films. Val Kilmer, well, he's had some good films. I don't know who the other person is, but it's some kind of horror. Seven Below. Like, I don't think it was even $1. It's very, very cheap. Yeah, so we'll see what Seven Below was like. And they had the latest Tremors, Cold Day in Hell, excluding the series. It's the last movie. So that was nice to pick up. And yeah, haven't seen it yet. I'm actually quite behind on some of my Tremors. I've only seen up to, I think, 3 or 4. So I've got a few to catch up on. Maybe I'll binge them all one day. But yep, that was a really good buy. And the last one from Second Spin was Mum and Dad, Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. I've heard plenty of good things about this film. And again, they had the slip, so that's cool. And yeah, that's I know very little about it again, except for that it's, well, Nicolas Cage in full-on nutsoid mode. Sounds good to me. And I told a few people I picked it up, and they all said, "Oh, you're going to like this one. It's good." So there you go. Jet black comedy about suburbia. Sounds good to me. Just bring on the violence. So those handful of discs cost me like I think I paid about 60 Australian shipped for those, and they've all been washed once at most, so I was very happy with that. New release, now we're on to Amazon. I picked up the latest Unearthed Films release of Famine, which is a not a new film. It's a Ryan Nicholson film who died, I think, last year or the year before. And Unearthed Films apparently are going to start releasing some of his stuff a bit more wide than his self-releases he was doing. And yep, I'm expecting a complete over-the-top gore fest. Look at that! Look at that! Complete over-the-top gore fest with woeful acting, and I'll be satisfied if that is what I get. 77 minutes, quite short. I don't know much about it, but yep. 20 students, 20 hours, 20 horrible ways to die. That sounds like a fun family movie. Salem's Lot. This was on Amazon Australia for 8 whole Australian dollars and free Prime shipping from the States. Don't know why. It wasn't the next day. It went right up the next day. So I paid price of a coffee and half a donut, and it was shipped from the States. So there you go, upgrade from the DVD. I haven't seen it since the DVD. When I first got it, well over 15 years ago, I think. So no idea. No idea if it's going to hold up to me. Hopefully it does. I've been told it will, so there you go. Salem's Lot. Found this one in the city, which is good because it's a region one. The House That Screamed, Scream Factory, from what year is this? 1970. So yeah, this should be a good one. I like early 70s horror quite a bit, so cited as an influence on Dario Argento's classic Suspiria. Well, that means I probably will like it if it's about teenagers in a school. Those ones always end up quite fun, so that's cool. Latest stuff from Scorpion. I got these from Diabolic DVD. This is Mom, or Mum, as we would say out in Australia. This had previously a manufacturer-on-demand DVD-R through Warner, I think. And finally we have a proper Blu-ray from Scorpion, who's picked up all the MGM stuff. This is fun. I had a dodgy copy of that DVD-R because I really don't want to pay for manufacturer-on-demand stuff. I was loaned a copy, and then I watched that. And I enjoyed it, so I'm going to be quite happy to watch this again in HD. Opposing Force. This one's got Richard Roundtree, Tom Skerritt. This should be good fun. I think it's going to be up my alley, this one. From 1986 at Orion Pictures. It's sort of ticking all the boxes for me right there. So mid-80s action. Military. Yeah, Richard Roundtree, always good fun. Don't know how much he'll be in it, but we'll see. Hopefully he's got a large role. POW Torture. Opposing Force. Stand Alone. I love this VHS cover. I'm going to keep it on there because Extra the Mutilated doesn't like it. He won't run, he won't hide, he'll take a stand, and ultimately he'll stand alone. The story of a real American hero. With Charles Durning and Pam Grier, James Keach. Don't know much about it. There was an Australian, shitty $2 DVD. It's been around for years, but I knew it was struck from VHS and I just couldn't be bothered with it. And then this got announced, so cool. I'll finally check it out. It looks like a Walking Tall kind of film to me, and they're always a good riff on those films. So I quite enjoy all the different takes on them. So Standalone, I'm sure it'll be good fun. And the last one on this pile, Vinegar Syndrome, Ken Weil. Really, really cool cover on that. Ruthless, merciless, out of control. They are Amiga, a secret underground organization, and they must be stopped. Cool looking stuff. What year is this? 86. More Scorpion. And Ken Weil from The Soldier, which is a good film. Taking of Beverly Hills. I don't know why I haven't picked that up. I really need to buy that. Don't know what I'm doing. Ex-GI calls on one of his former army buddies to track down a gang and rescue his daughter. action movie plot number 3. Can't wait. That's Vinegar Syndrome. And on to the second pile of Blu-rays. We have the first up here, Severin release of Escape from Women's Prison. This looks quality garbage. I like my women in prison films, and this one is from, what year is this? 1984. And yep, it's from the producer of the clones of Bruce Lee and Pieces. Awesome. That's quality stuff as far as I'm concerned. And yep, it's got Porn Queen Lily Karate. Oh dear, I don't know who that is, but anyway. So yeah, women in prison stuff from the mid-80s on Severin, and I'm sure I'm going to like it. It will go well with the Bruno Mattei one that I got, Violence in a Women's Prison, that they also released. So there you go. Nice double feature. The Beast in the Cellar, chill-filled festival of horror. This looks good to me. This is, I think, is this an Amicus or a Tygon? No, it's a Tygon. This is a Tygon film, and yeah, I quite liked the other stuff I've seen from Tygon. It's all like similar to Amicus and Hammer of that time, 70s UK horror, and yeah, haven't seen this one before. Not sure if it's had particularly good releases before. I certainly don't remember seeing anything about it. But yeah, this one looks something interesting to me. Directed by James Kelly. Has a bunch of interviews and trailer and stuff on the special features. So there you go. Yeah, I don't know much about it, but I reckon that's one I like. The Beast in the Cellar. That was from the Severin sale, those two, and the last one I picked up on that finally is Threads, the happy-go, cheerful family film that is Threads. Awesome lenticular cover. That's something fun about it. Yeah, this is one I've not seen in. Oh, I don't even remember anymore. I've never owned a copy. I think I had a dodgy download once of this. But this is aftermath of a nuclear bomb dropped on the UK, 1984, and apparently it's quite not cheerful and grisly, and yeah, right in the middle of the Cold War, so unsettlingly powerful. I'm sure it will still hold up as a quality movie, if not one that's going to make me laugh and guffaw. Got some Vinegar Syndrome stuff, the Candy Snatchers. I didn't know anything about this film, and it's as you can see from the photo, it's sort of a rape revenge film, quite a grisly one, from what I understand, and I don't think it's ever had a favourable release before. That's what I was understanding from it. Oh, the problem with the VS things is so hard to get off. Not sure it's had any kind of release besides VHS before, so there you go, from 1973. Restored in 4K from the camera negative. Vinegar Syndrome always managed to do excellent... Whoops. Jeez, that was good. Yep, I'll just cut away from that. Always managed to do good transfers. I don't think I've ever seen a bad transfer from them, so there you go. Oh dear, I got stuff stuck on it on my slip. I wonder how many people I just gave a heart attack to about damaging a slip. Anyway, the Candy Snatchers, we'll see how we go with that. Spookies, upgrade from the DVD. I wasn't expecting this. Some people were expecting this. There was two covers. I chose this one because boobs. And fun film that, it had a French-Canadian DVD, I think it was about 2 years ago now, that finally presented it in widescreen. And it is a fun film. It's quite silly. But I enjoyed it, and I'm going to watch it again in HD. And, I'm sure it's going to be even more fun and silly in 4K scanned high-definition transfer on Blu-ray. So there you go. That's Spookies. And I don't know what I'm doing here. Tammy and the T-Rex. Yep. I jumped on that bandwagon. It's a funny thing, actually. From the Vinegar Syndrome's November sale, all I picked up was Spookies, and this next one here, Savage Dawn. That's all I picked up, and I was content with that. And then a friend of mine accidentally double ordered somehow everything. So he very kindly at Mates Rates offered me any of the ones here that are not Spookies and Savage Dawn. So I ended up, picking up all those new titles anyway. So anyway, Tammy and the T-Rex. From what I was reading about it, it was a 90s sort of PG family dinosaur movie with ridiculously over-the-top violence and gore that the label or distributor at the time demanded they remove so that it could compete with Jurassic Park. And this release puts all that ridiculous stuff back into it. So there you go. Tammy and the T-Rex, horror comedy from what I'm going to gather. Or maybe it's just a splatter comedy like Bad Taste is. Either way, Denise Richards trying to act, and Paul Walker. Very early role for Paul Walker. I think that's going to be a gathering of friends and beers night, that one. And yes, here we go, the aforementioned Savage Dawn. Upgrade from VHS. Has never had a DVD, at least a legit one. I enjoy these new sort of vertical Vinegar Syndrome slips from their what are they calling this sub-range? So got another name on there? I don't know. It's where they're putting all their action type films anyway. Their sort of sub-label, VSA. Can't remember what the A stands for. I don't think it's action. So yeah, Savage Dawn, first time since VHS. Biker action. It's got Lance Henriksen, George Kennedy, and Richard Lynch and William Forsythe. It's quite a good cast. And I remember really enjoying this one on tape. So yeah, this will be a wonderful upgrade in widescreen and HD. Seeing all those guys. Awesome. And oh dear. The Vice Academy 1-3. Who would have expected them to release this? Ginger Lynn Allen and Linnea Quigley. Absolute trash. Just trash. It was so trash, this is why I said, I don't think I need this kind of trash. And then, well, fate said to me, hey, you can have it really cheap. Okay, fine. I'll have that trash. Ugh. One-handed unboxing. There you go. Vice Academy 1-3. So it's, raunchy direct-to-video sex comedies from the 80s. And I think there's quite a few more than 3. So anyway, you get multiple discs and poster and booklet kind of thing. So yeah, when I'm in the mood for some Police Academy rubbish with boobs, it's going to be Vice Academy. So there you go. That looks craptacular. Got a single release from Massacre Video. Pre-ordered this with a couple others and was not expecting it to ship separately, but they did, which was very nice. American Rampage and Danger USA, double of cheapy, forgotten about 80s action films, which is right up my wheelhouse. So I don't think anybody's seen these, or if they have, it's not many people. So yeah, I have very little to say about it because I've not seen it and I didn't know anything about it. It just seemed like it was going to be great. Keywords in the back here: squibs, bullets flying, cartel, hot and bloody. That's good. Scientist, Grizzly Adams. Oh dear. And Gonzo set pieces with a killer synth score. Yep. American Rampage, Danger USA. I think these are going to be great. David Duchovny and Eames Demetrios. I don't know who that is, but David Duchovny, his films are hit or miss, but I think this one will be a hit. I know it will be a hit. Bit of a side grade for me. This is what happens with the slasher collection. Once you start getting those numbered spines, you're stuck forever. Christmas Evil, I completely did not need this. I had a perfectly adequate Blu-ray from Glass Dolls, but here we are. Here we are with the 88 Films Blu-ray. And my previous one has been excised, so whatever, it's a side grade. But it's got some cool features and stuff, so that's nice. It's a great film. I didn't get it in time to watch this Christmas, which is a shame, but there you go. What year is this? Is it even listed there? I don't know. 70 something, but yeah. If you've not seen Christmas Evil, you do owe it to yourself to watch it next Christmas. It's definitely one of the best Evil Santa films. So yeah, check out Christmas Evil. Nice release from '88. And another side grade. Bloody hell. Terror Train. Jamie Lee Curtis. Nice slip. Again, didn't need this. I had a Scream Factory Blue, but here we are. Side grading. And a bunch of nice features and special remastering from '88 to restore and remove dust and sparkle. So there you go. If that is to be believed, I can't speak today, then it should be the best picture of the releases so far. So that'll be nice. Yep, Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis on Blu-ray. And the last in this pile from '88 films is The Killer Crocodile 1 and 2 Collector's Edition. Nice hard box, and you get two Italian line films in there. Number 50 and number 51, that line has really gone on for a while there. So it's basically the same as the Severin release of these two. What was it? Synapse. I think that might be Synapse, actually. Whatever. Killer Crocodile 1 and 2. And it's got different special features to the American counterpart. But these are directed by Fabrizio De Angelis, who did all kinds of great Italian 80s films. And this one's from Ganeto De Rossi, who's a name I don't actually recognise, but probably has done some other good stuff. Oh, no, there you go. It actually says he's first and last. Oh, there you go. So we'll see if the second one's as good as the first one, because I've heard the first one's great. So, yep. Killer, giant crocodiles, Italian horror. We get English audio, which is probably how it was shot, or was done in ADR afterwards. That's what all the Italian films were anyway. Everybody spoke whatever they wanted, and then they made an Italian language and English one. Yes, there is an Italian audio with new subtitles, so that's cool. Do they both get that? Yes, they do. They both get the Italian and English in the subtitles, so that's Killer Crocodile 1 and 2. So next here, I'll get this ominous-looking giant Hitchcock box out of the way. The House of Hitchcock Limited Edition collection. I wasn't really intending on picking this up. I'm not a huge Hitchcock fan. My wife is, but and we have a couple of the Blu-rays and pretty much all the DVDs, the nice Universal ones that, were widescreen, looked great. But this was released when JB Hi-Fi was having a buy one box set, get another free sale. So I went halves with a friend, and I paid a grand total of $54 for this box set, which is ridiculous because you get the following: Saboteur, Shadow of a Doubt, Rope, Rear Window, The Trouble with Harry, Man Who Knew Too Much, Vertigo, Psycho, The Birds, Marnie, Torn Curtain, Topaz, Frenzy, Family Plot, a bunch of bonus features, all on Blu-ray, for $54 or something. So absolutely mental pricing. See if I can get at the top without breaking everything. So you get the discs like that. I'll pull one out. Nice looking design on those. Multiple discs in each set, I think. So there you go. I think they're just it looks like it's the UK German releases just stuck in a nice box. I have no problem with that. So there you go. I assume they're all like that, and I think there's some art cards and stuff as well. So quite a nice set, particularly when you pay half the retail, half the JB price. I'm not sure what the actual RRP for this was, probably like 200 or something. But anyway, that is quite a nice box set. But my two favourite things from this update are both German media books. Karate Tiger 5, better known as King of the Kickboxers. We now live in a world where King of the Kickboxers is on Blu-ray. Absolutely ridiculous. Completely ridiculously fun film from Lauren Avedon and the awesome Billy Blanks. Awesome Billy Blanks, who's just off the chain in this film. Absolutely off the chain. Doing his best Bolo Yeung Bloodsport impression, but even more crazy. I love this film. King of the Kickboxers, aka Karate Tiger 5, aka No Retreat, No Surrender 4. It's all over the map. You get the Blu-ray and you get DVD, I think. Bunch of pictures and German text, which I can't read, which is a shame. There you go. That picture sums up. That sums up the good guy, and that sums up the bad guy. Isn't that amazing? I can't believe this is on Blu-ray. There's a couple of different variants of this media book. This is the one that Diabolic DVD had, and I was very happy to pick it up. I got number 298. I don't think there's very many of them. If you want it, probably go get it now. These things never seem to last. As I said, I got mine from Diabolic DVD, but if you can, I think Amazon DE will have it. Unfortunately, they don't ship to Australia anymore, so got to use the Americans to buy a German disc. Makes sense? No. Anyway, awesome release. And the last one, I haven't checked the transfer out yet, but absolutely ridiculous that we now have this in the world. We now have a Blu-ray of Kill Squad. 12 hands, 12 feet, 24 reasons to live, 24 reasons to die, I should say. This is a gorgeous thing. Like, it feels like leather. You can probably see the texture on it. Really, really nice German media book. You get 2 blues. The German title is Das Soldner Kommando, or Soldier Commando, I guess. I don't know. 2 blues and a DVD as well, and all the usual German text and stuff I can't read, which is a shame. Some pictures and stuff. But this is a great film. It's never had a legit DVD. It's only ever had VHS or VHS burns onto a DVD, sold as in bootlegger markets. But yeah, really, really happy to have this on Blu-ray now. And from what I gather, it is a proper Blu-ray transfer too. So it has a paper sheet. I think that was what was popping out here actually, because I took it out. Those things that stick to the back. So there you go, a bit more detail. Yep, 2 discs. You get the widescreen version. You get a 4:3 retro version. I don't know why we want that, but anyway, we do. And then we have a Grindhouse version. So who knows what that is? Probably just a really shitty 16mm version. Looks like some extras: Planet of the Tapes, Grindhouse All Stars, etc. Bunch of different languages, but the ones that I care about are English and widescreen video. I got 574 of 750. Now, I ordered this directly from Turbine, I'd never heard of. So, but it arrived incredibly quickly and very well packed. This thing was in a box with bubble wrap and packing peanuts. And the shipping from Germany to Australia was only €10 for that. So, highly recommend. Yeah, check it out if you want them. Turbine is the name of the company. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find it. And yeah, Kill Squad on Blu-ray along with King of the Kickboxers. Absolutely amazing. That's this update. Thanks for watching, and the next one will be a music update, so I'll see you then.